So we are Tim and Leandra Hawes. We are serving in Papua New Guinea, and we've been there for almost 10 years now.
Papua New Guinea is right below the equator, right above Australia. But Papua New Guinea is unique in that there's over 800 languages. Each of those languages is a different people, a different culture. And so Papua New Guinea is technically a Christian country. They consider themselves a Christian nation, but it's just Christian by name. So people will say, I'm a Christian, but there's no fruit. They'll take their Christianity and they add it to the beliefs they already had in the spirits and in their animistic religion. So it's a very dark country. There's a lot of spiritual issues, sorcery, witchcraft, a lot of domestic violence. For them to leave those cultural pressures they have. Because when you leave your animistic religion, you're leaving your family as well, basically. So that makes it very difficult for them to truly live a set-apart life, fully following Christ.
So we have 3 areas of ministry. The first is Sagifa Bible Baptist Church, which we started in 2015. And the second area of ministry is Goroka Baptist Bible College. And the third area of ministry is the Bible clubs in the public schools. The Lord certainly had his fingerprints in my life at an early age. When I graduated from high school, I was done with college. I was done with school. I wasn't going to go to college. And the Lord really worked in my heart that year following. I went to Bible college. And then I went back the next year and was able to get my master's degree, but had to do an internship. And that worked out to be Papua New Guinea. And long story short, I was in Papua New Guinea first time for 2 weeks, went back again for 5 months. And it was at that point the Lord called me to be a full-time missionary in Papua New Guinea.
So the same thing for me happened is I was linguistically trained, and since Papua New Guinea has so many different languages, then that's how the Lord opened up a trip for me to take, a short-term trip to Papua New Guinea, and that's how the Lord called me there. One of the first things we did is Tim started a Greek and Hebrew program at the Bible College to train the nationals so that they could do translation work.
Papua New Guinea sees great hope in the Bible clubs. They see it as a great opportunity to see their country transformed by the power of the gospel, because over half of the population is under 20 years of age. So the majority of the population is in the public schools. In 2019, the government made Christian citizenship value education a compulsory subject in the public schools. Part of the reason the government said is they've done some incredible things for our country, Papua New Guinea, but they've had a real difficulty in stopping the sorcery and the domestic violence. And basically you could summarize what they said was that only the Bible can stop the domestic violence and all the sorcery in Papua New Guinea. And the Bible Club ministry was started in Safa, and then it spread out through East High School, and then it spread out to where we are today in 18 public schools with over 5,000 students a week hearing God's word. And the Lord has really used that in an incredible way in the life of the students. Yes, we're reaching the multitudes, but we're also trying to reach that one student that the Lord cares so deeply for. And our goal for next year in 2025 is by May, we want to be in another province in Hela, bringing our numbers to 8,000 students a week. And then by August, we want to be back in Goroka, bringing our numbers to 16,000 public school students a week.
I feel like one of the most challenging things on the mission field sometimes is just battling with self, because it's not our work. It's the Lord's work. And we can try to do things in our own strength. And sometimes the Lord has to break us to show us that, he has the power and it's his work and it's going to go forward. But he still wants to use us.
We're so grateful to ABWE for their help and their support for the Lord's work in Papua New Guinea. We could not do what we're doing without the support of our mission board. And they've been such a help in everything, whether it's from finances to connections with different people, connections for curriculum, connections for training. They just facilitated every part of the ministry, whether it be the church plant or the Bible college or the Bible clubs. And a huge part of missions today and the Lord's work is networking and collaboration, and ABWE has been such an integral part in that in the Lord's ministry in Papua New Guinea. If you feel God is calling you to missions, I always say obey one step at a time. Some people try to figure out all the details, but then you'll never be able to take your first trip. But I say just obey God one step at a time.
Yeah, for me it was really hard because I was a single lady. And a lot of people said, well, how did you know that's what the Lord wanted you to do? How did you get to that point? Are you scared? Are you sure this is what you're supposed to be doing? But the Lord just led, as Tim said, one step at a time. And as you follow the Lord, you take that first commitment to make a short-term trip. And as you pray for missions, and as you follow how the Lord is opening the doors, that's how the Lord leads and He shows you, as long as you're being obedient to that next step.
And in that, I think we've observed many times the things you surrender to God, God gives back to you 100-fold over.
Like a lot of people are so scared of the sacrifices, the things I'm going to lose if I go to the mission field. And yes, you do give up things, but the blessings are so much more than the things that you sacrifice.